I'm updating this kitchen on a budget, so instead of getting new cabinets, I just had the old ones painted. I want to save money, so I'm going to install the doors and drawers myself. How hard could it be? I found a company that cut and painted and delivered the doors, and once they arrived, I had to install the hinges. You'll notice that there's 2 holes that need to be filled in with these little plastic inserts. Once those are in, you're able to screw the hinge to the door. I'll have these inserts and all the tools I use linked below. I found out that it's very easy to hook the doors to the cabinet boxes. All you have to do is align the hinge to the groove on the box clip. Once it's aligned, just clamp it shut. To install the handles, I purchased this little alignment tool, and it made life 1,000 times easier than trying to measure it yourself. All you do is align it on the corner, and then it gives you different options for the different sizes of handles. Just line it up tightly, then mark out where you want to drill. For drilling, you want to get a bit that has a pointed end like this so that it goes in straight. Make sure to go slow when drilling so you don't blow out the wood in the back. When you install the handle, leave the first screw a little loose. That way you can move the handle to fit the second screw. Then you can tighten both screws down. See if you can notice what I do wrong here. I almost drilled into the box, so learn from my mistake and make sure you have the door open when drilling. Otherwise you could commit a grievous blunder. When you shut the cabinet doors for the first time, you'll notice they're crooked or will have a big gap like this. This took me a while to figure out, but I learned that you can adjust the doors by turning these screws. Make a mark to track rotations, then turn the screw to adjust the door forward or the other screw to adjust it left and right. I was a rookie, so it took me like 15 minutes on each door to get it exactly right, and a whole bunch of trial and error. Once I had them adjusted correctly, they looked fantastic. I'm done with the cabinet doors, so now I'm going to move on to installing the drawer faces. Before I start, I'm going to go out and grab some of this double-sided mounting tape, then I'll teleport back to my kitchen so I can get started. I'll show you why we need that tape later, so go ahead and pull out the drawer, then remove these screws. With the screws out, the front plate should come right off. Also note that you need to use these carpenter screws that have the flat head. These help the drawer face not come loose. Next up, I'm going to measure how deep I need to drill, and I'll mark it out with some tape so that I'm only drilling about halfway through the faceplate. If I try to align the faceplate, it can be very difficult to get it exactly centered. It sounds simple, but if I get the door underneath exactly level, I can then use a spacer to even out the drawer face. This spacer was 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's what I'm going to use throughout the entire kitchen. Once I have the spacer set, I'm going to use the double-sided tape to help hold the drawer face in place so I can then attach it to the drawer box. The double-sided tape holds it in place so I can drill into it and attach the screws. I'll check the spacer one more time to make sure nothing moved, and it fits perfectly. To set the handle, I'm going to use one of these specialized tools, and I'm going to make sure that it's completely centered. Just like the door, I'll make the marks, then eyeball the handle, and if it looks good, I'll drill in the holes. And with that, we're good to go. If you're doing a section with larger drawers, it's going to be a very similar process. You'll want to use extra tape, but that spacer method will work great. Now you may be wondering if it's okay to leave the tape behind the faceplate, and the answer is yes, it's totally fine. The Scotch tape compresses so much when screwed in that there's no noticeable gap between the faceplate and the box. If you do get a gap, you can put the screws in, then take them off, remove the tape, and put it all back together. If you do it a different way that works better, please leave a comment below. The last thing I need to do is put on the faceplate underneath the sink. Because the sink is so large, I don't have room to connect it, so I'm going to have to build these supports. I'm going to place the supports underneath the frame of the cabinet, then I'll screw it on. With the 2 support brackets in place, I'm going to pre-drill the holes and then put in the screws because it's hard to drill when you're under the sink. I pre-drilled the holes, so now I'm going to halfway put the screws in and I'm going to make sure they're long enough to hold up the fake drawer. Now I'll put up the tape and then I'll be able to attach the fake drawer cover. Note that I'm not installing a handle on the fake drawer, so make sure to install it first before you put it up if you want one. And with that, this cabinet door install project is done. As always, if this video helped you, please go out and help someone else. Thanks for watching.